Shalom. Kahal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Shem Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them and taught us his truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Tabernacle of David. The brother Yahshua back with a lesson, all right, and what's going on right now, all right. Everybody's afraid. You bitches are afraid of Isaiah 4 and 1. Here's why. Come on. Let's go to it real quick. Why? Isaiah 4 and 1. Why? In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Not any 7 women, 7 righteous women, because you hoes, you skanks, all right? You're going to be out there dying, all right? Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, a man of the Lord, to take away our reproach, all right? Why? All right, what's going on right now? This is the year of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai turning up his spirit. All right, this is 13 and 11. Isaiah 13 and 11. And I will punish the world, everybody, for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. All right. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold. You bitches ain't nothing. Okay? Nothing, and you're going to find that out. All right? Why are 7 women going to take hold of one man? Because he's going to be more precious than fine gold. A man of the Lord. Okay? The ones that have stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Even a man of the golden wedge of Ophir. That's why. All right? And what else? Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts in the day of his fierce anger. That's when them missiles come. But before that, you're going to be as a chaste roe. And it shall be as a chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. All right? Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. And a lot of this is talking about what's going to go on right here in Babylon the Great, right? But it's going to go on all over the world too. And for the record, all right, the world of Israel, the wicked is 2/3, and you heathen, all right? Namely Esau will be as a chaste roe. But it's twofold. It's parabolic, all right? So, all right? Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. You're going to be killed out there, impaled. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces. See, hey, they're going to be like madmen sparing none. The children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Get ready for that, you fucking stank bitches, taking our children away from us. That's going to happen right here in Babylon the Great too. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. You think that's going to be a pleasurable experience. It's not. All right? Not when there's a line going out the motherfucking door. You think it's going to be pleasurable. Nope. Behold, I will stir up the Medes. Who's that? That's over there in Russia. They're coming back together, hooks in their jaws. Against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, and their eye shall not spare children. All right? So, it's going on in Russia now. All of this shit is going on in Russia now. And you think it's not coming here? right here. And Babylon is coming here. The glory of the glory of the kingdom, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It's gonna be bad here. All right. Well, let's take a look. What's going on in Russia? All right. Let's go right here. Here's what's coming to America, not Eddie Murphy. So lock it for the commercial.
Violence in Kazakhstan. Protesters.
Kazakhstan used to be Russia 30 years ago. And right after this, after Russia comes in and quells this with martial law, it'll be Russia. It'll be the USSR again. All right. These are the proverbial hooks in the jaws. This is prophecy taking place right now. So, Lucky, let me read this. All right, this is DW News, January 5th, yesterday. What to know about Kazakhstan. Surge of fuel prices, protests, state of emergency. All right. They had to take down the internet so that they can't plan a counter strategy over there. All right, so let's watch this. And we'll stop it intermittently and bring out precepts. All right, here we go. Back this up just a hair. We'll start from the top.
Violence in Kazakhstan.
Violence. All right, coming to America very soon. All right, and you ain't ready.
Protesters there have stormed and set fire to government buildings in the country's largest city. The violence.
Sound familiar? What happened last year on the 6th? All right, very reminiscent. Protester what? Did what? This is the year of the turn up, and they're turning up.
Set fire to government buildings in the country's largest city. The violence there follows days of mass demonstrations over surging fuel prices.
Okay, so this thing started on the first day of the year. This is the 6th day. It started on the first, when Rap the News got put down like the dog that he is. You think the Most High is playing right now?
And appealing for calm, the country's president today spoke of deaths and injuries sustained in the protest.
Deaths and injuries. Mass death is coming. All right? Now, when you see what's going on, here's what I want you to think about. Where are the women? What's going on with the women? If there's lawlessness on the street, what the hell do you think is going on with these women? And furthermore, when this shit comes to the United States, all right, where they have child support, where you have women taking children away from their fathers, what's going to happen when the police get run off? Here's what you're going to understand when you watch it. The police got ran the fuck up out of there. Ain't no police. Ain't no National Guard. It's lawlessness. Okay? And I'm going to stop it every time it says that and remind you, where are the women? Okay? Going back to Isaiah 4:1. I'll tell you where the women are. They're looking for a man of the Lord up in there. And they're joining, and they're not tripping. All 18 of us are going to share this one man right now. We're going to shut the fuck up.
And he said that he would act forcefully to end the unrest.
Look familiar? A year ago today, the Capitol building. What the fuck is this? All right. Hey, the spirit done turned up. The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua done turned up. That's what you see.
Thousands of protesters venting their fury at the government. A rare
It looks just like last year in America at the Capitol building. All right, this shit is going on right now. It's lawlessness. All right? This time they ain't going to be able to stop it.
in the authoritarian ex-Soviet republic. For 4 days, these people have been taking to the streets.
If that was on the 5th, This came out yesterday. For 4 days. Add it up. When did it start? The year of the turn-up. Started early.
Protests started in the remote oil hub of Zhanaozen, but they quickly spread to other cities after the government announced an end to price caps on fuel.
Price caps on fuel. Now you're going to find when this thing goes on, if I stop stopping it for a minute, which I'm not, all right, you'll understand this is about oil, which they have a buttload of oil. They got energy, but they're starving out the people. And they're like this, fuck that. This place, you'll see how rich the economy is, but they're starving out the people.
Now the unrest appears to be spiraling and hitting the country's largest city, Almaty, in particular. Protesters are calling for wider political changes. Police have deployed in numbers in a bid to curb the unrest. But tear gas and stun grenades have done little to dissuade protesters.
Nope, they got ran the fuck up out of there, the police did. They put down their protection weapons, and then the protesters took them over, and now they're down there running shit. And now Russia has to send in the elite troops, the commandos, to try to take the cities back over and then institute martial law. And as they're doing so, they're going to take over all of these stands again, okay, and reformulate the Soviet Union is what you see going on right now, and that's biblical prophecy jumping off the page.
Neither have hundreds of arrests, nor the imposition of a curfew and movement restrictions on several regions. Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has sacked the government and moved to reinstate price controls in response. But with protests escalating, the president has vowed to hold firm. As the head of state and, from today, the president of the Security Council, I intend to act as tough as possible. No matter what, I will stay in the capital. Kazakhstan's authoritarian government usually tolerates little real opposition. But this time, the protesters' anger...
You see the protesters? They done took the police. These are not the police. These are the protesters. They done divided up the police barricades and the shields and the batons and the guns. They're mounting a motherfucking defensive and an offensive as well. All right?
To have caught the
Look at that. The police got beat back. Look at this dude. Is that a dude right there that got beat down? Or is it a uniform a nigga took off and said, fuck that? So where's the women at? There's men out there fighting. Anarchy. All right, where's the women at? I'll tell you where they're at. Isaiah 4:1. All right? Some of them are getting murdered, raped in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, beat down, beat the hell up. All right? Just wait until it gets here in America. You just wait.
Off guard.
Where are the women? There's one.
And for more now,
Idiots.
I'm joined by Ayzarim Talikhanova. She's a freelance journalist. She's currently in Prague. She just arrived there this morning from Kazakhstan. Ayzarim, it's good to have you with us. What are you hearing? What is the latest right now on the situation?
The latest right now I know is that internet connection has been restored in some cities of Kazakhstan. It's been off for around 7 hours. And the people whom I contacted, the sources on the ground, say that it's quite an anarchy on the streets. There is no presence.
Anarchy on the streets. Not just in the capital. Kazakhstan is huge. And in little cities and enclaves, motherfuckers are like this. No, fuck that. Excuse my French. All right? People ain't gonna be worried about how, what type of language you're using coming up here. All right, that's going to be the least of your worry. You better recognize what the hell is going on.
Police or any security forces. And we know that protesters have captured the Almaty airport, have burned down the prosecution office, the city hall of Almaty is still burning, and several state TV.
You hear that? They captured the airport. That's serious. This isn't water and smoke grenades. They're out there shooting real ball ammunition at each other. Okay? And police are standing down. You're watching it. All right, this is different. Okay?
Offices are also burning. So it's still ongoing, and it's going to develop further.
So
it's going to develop further. This shit is out of hand. The only thing that can stop this right now is if Vladimir sends his troops down there and shut that motherfucker down, right? And still it's going to be out of control. This is the Most High turning up the spirit, all right, of chaos. Chaos is coming.
Reports that Tokayev has sacked the government and taken over the country's Security Council. So do we know who is in charge of the country right now?
The head of Security Council used to be Nursultan Nazarbayev, the former president until 2019. And now Tokayev has stated in his address to the nation that he will now take over this title, which probably means that Nazarbayev may not be in the country or is not able to control the situation.
Can you imagine the government of the United States stepping down?
So right now, what we know is that people on the ground say that there is no control over the situation, but Tokayev is appealing to different governments, particularly CSTO, to help Kazakhstan curb this current violent protest.
Kazakhstan is huge. And there's no control over the situation on the ground. And you can best believe that whatever news this is very closely controlled, very closely worded. That's why they brought her in, right? And they're watching her every word, and they're dressing, putting makeup on a pig right now. All right? This shit is buck-ass wild down there.
Azurym, you mentioned former President Nazarbayev. Do we know anything about his whereabouts tonight?
No, we don't know anything about his location or of his family. And we also haven't heard from him in the last few days when the protests were escalating. And it's...
Let's get a couple of precepts real quick. This nigga ain't brought out no scriptures. This is, let's get 15. Chapter. Let's get 15 here. There we go. 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. That's what you see right now. For there shall be sedition, that's what you see, among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right? You clearly see that. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You clearly see that. Let's go back. What's going on here?
Usually the case when there are protests, Nazarbayev very rarely publicly speaks out about them. And right now we just have heard of Tokayev and probably some other people who are working behind the scenes but it seems to me that the situation is still very shaky, and Kazakhstan's government does not have enough resources to control the situation.
Kazakhstan doesn't have enough resources. What are you doing? They haven't called Vladimir. Vladimir's deploying the troops. He's gonna put hooks in their jaws. All right.
The streets in different parts of the country.
Well, we understand that this started over protests over increasing fuel prices, but how do you explain that in Kazakhstan, a country that sits on some of the world's largest oil reserves?
Boom. That's it right there. What does it say? What to know about Kazakhstan? Surge of fuel prices. Why? When you're sitting on what this guy just said. Listen closely. Why? How is this going down, nigga? We got everything.
That in Kazakhstan, a country that sits on some of the world's largest oil reserves.
Oop.
No one believed it at first,
Had
but
a good
now
commercial there. Let's see what the answer to that is.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting note, because the protests have started in the western part of Kazakhstan, which is rich in oil and gas and other natural resources. But this part of Kazakhstan has also seen a lot of inequality. The people there who own oil and gas companies, they don't see the benefits from the natural resources.
Sound like Jake's. They're getting starved out. That sounds like Jake's over there.
Kazakhstan is extracting from this part of the country. And I think that for people...
Where's the women at? You see them hooligans? Where's the women? Women ain't down there marching with sticks, running up on police. Okay? No, they're trying to find the man of the Lord and get up under him and be safe. And some of you, hey, the Most High is orchestrating this whole thing. All right? This is what's coming. Some of them wives are out there being ravished. These dudes are on the street. What are the criminals doing? All right? They're taking advantage. They're stealing, looting, shooting, holding people up, robbing, running through paths, right? Gathering up women. They said marauders. Gangs. Gangs are forming. You got to eat.
It was also a surprise that gas...
There is lawlessness, okay? Ain't no police. People got to eat. Life has to continue on. It's just, hey, it's lawlessness. You ain't thinking. You think, oh, everything's going to be okay. No, not right now. Motherfuckers are dying, getting beat the fuck down out there.
Kazakhstan would increase prices, given that people's economic situation was already being very dire and very heavy, and many people are still saving money even to buy meat and other products. So I think that the official reason that they were protesting because of the increase in oil or gas prices is just the tip of the iceberg, because
just the tip of it. So they're getting starved out. All right. Same thing going on here right now. That's why they're turning up at the malls and mob looting, and is just getting started. That started last year. What? October? November? What's it going to be like this year? As the price of all food goes up, right? What happens when they freeze this place out and turn out the lights? The hell do you think is going on here? All right?
there has been...
And the men of the Lord, we love it. All right? We love that this place is about to spiral the fuck out of control.
There have been many problems accumulating in the last 3 decades that Kazakhstan has to deal with now.
Journalist.
The women have no protection. I'm going to keep saying that.
Zarim Toliukhanova joining us tonight with the latest on that situation in Kazakhstan. Zarim, thank you.
Now let's take a look at the disparity and how rich the country actually is, but then you're still starving some of the people. Now, the Jakes, there's Jakes down there, all right? And they're the ones over in the corner catching hell.
Thanks for having me.
While tensions in Kazakhstan continue to grow, the world is trying to understand what is behind this unrest. The Central Asian country has escaped the global spotlight for decades. Here's a closer look now at the former Soviet republic's recent history and what the protests tonight could mean for its authoritarian.
Former Soviet, what does that mean? That means when the Soviet Union fell 30 years ago, all right, these fools said, hey, we finna do what the hell we want to do. We're going to sell our oil and become rich. We're going to enrich ourselves at the behest of everybody else. We build up the infrastructure, da-da-da-da, but we ain't spending no money on you Jakes, on you have-nots over here. And now you get the uprisings. Here's why. Look at
The
that.
gaudy and at times bizarre modernism of Kazakhstan's capital, Nur-Sultan. This newly-rich city recently shed its previous name, Astana, in honor of the man who has ruled the country for 3 decades. Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev led Kazakhstan into independence in 1991 during the collapse of the Soviet Union. He ruled as an autocrat, rigging elections and quashing any opposition.
There it is. There's where the money is. But you can't share the oil with the people. You can't let them warm themselves and have enough money to buy food after you're warm enough. That's why they're rising up. Because the country is rich. But you're hoarding. You're storing up riches for the last days. Now all the hand of the wicked, right, is upon you.
Tap Kazakhstan's abundant oil and gas reserves to embark on a course of modernization and economic reform. Nazarbayev stepped down as president in 2019 and installed loyalist Kassym-Jomart Tokayev as his successor. But he retains his power and his official title, leader of the nation. For all the glitzy facades and economic growth, progress remains out of reach for many. According to the World Bank, half the population lives in remote areas with poor infrastructure and widespread poverty.
Why? Right? With all that money and all that oil, right? And on a larger note, who's destabilizing Kazakhstan? You know who, all right? It would be the beast, the EU, right? NATO, the US, Britain. They're destabilized. Why? Well, what did they do in Iraq? They went and got that oil. What are they doing in Syria? They went and got that oil. What are they doing? They're destabilizing. How was the Soviet Union destabilized? Okay? And now, Crimea, what's the one that is being run up on right now? That they're in a stalemate? Can't think of it. All right? But this is what's going on.
It is in areas like these where the protests over surging fuel prices began. The unrest could finally pry open Nazarbayev's iron grip on the country. President Tokayev has taken over as head of the National Security Council, a position that had concentrated power in the hands of his predecessor.
Ukraine is what I'm thinking. All right, so there it is. Hey, this thing has begun. This is the year of the turn up. Oh, it's not coming here. Okay, you wait. You wait. Hey, the Most High is doing this. Okay? The Most High is doing it. And then what is going on? Let's continue on right here. What's going on in the enclaves that the brother was talking about right now? All right? A man, this is 19. 2 Ezra 15:19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of a lack of bread and for great tribulation. You don't see that right there? This is jumping off the pages. All right? Let's get this real quick. I'm going to bring this out in the World War III update, which is next. It's going to be the same thing. All right? This is Ezekiel. Stirring up the Medes. All right. Ezekiel 38:1. And the Lord, so look, and the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Tubal, Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord, power, Yahweh Shemel Shai, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back. That's what you see going on right now. And put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay, so the Soviet Union is being reformed by force right now in everybody's face. And this is prophecy coming to pass. All right? Why? Okay? Because this is who's going to win this third world war. All right? The Soviet Union. Period. All right? All right, so we'll end it right there. Okay? This thing is it's getting good. And we, the men of the Lord, we can't wait for this to come to Babylon the Great. All right? Let me get this on the way out. Micah 7. Let's just get Micah. Micah 7:10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, Where is the Lord thy power? Yahweh Shemel Shai. Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down like the mire of the streets. All right? I'm waiting for that. I can't wait. And I'm not going to do anything. We just prophesy the future. That's it. All right, so with that, we hope that the elect were edified. We're in that day, the day of the turn up. All right? Shalom.